So now I'd like to request Mr. Gautam Datta to present Mr. Rahman with the flowers. So while we proceed, now I would like to request again Mr. Gautam Datta to share a few words around this partnership with the production with Giant Wire Movies.
Hi everyone, it's wonderful to sort of see you all today, and we met earlier with the same concept of VR when we launched it, but I had said this earlier in the press conference then, and I would want to state it again, that it was really Sir, Mr. AR Rahman, who had actually got us on the path of launching VR. It was about 18 months back when he came to our office and spoke about this concept where he was working on this project, and he introduced, honestly, PVR to this reality called VR. And while he got busy putting the entire production together, we started to explore ways and means to make this dream come true. And I'm very happy that finally we've got an opportunity to sort of welcome him to the lounge, which is really his creation and his brainchild. And it feels so great to be able to sort of work alongside him and launch his film at the VR launch. I really would sort of request you all after the press conference to sort of go through the prelude of the film. It's just mind-blowing, that's all I can say. And what I understand is that VR also is going to evolve as we take giant steps towards it. It's not just PVR. Globally, all the technology giants are kind of looking at this technology and redefining this completely. And in a couple of years, I think VR is going to be really, really big. So you've got this great opportunity. Please experience this. And really, sir, thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Datta, for your insightful information and sharing the love of art and here with the movie. So moving on, I would also like to request our guest of honor, Mr. Rahman sir, about his directorial venture on Musk.
I don't know where to begin. I think 2015, somebody gave me a VR headset and said, you should try this. And I threw it. I said, I'm not going to put that on my face. And 3 months later, I had a day off and I looked at it and it's like, maybe I should try this. And I got a phone, a Samsung phone, and put that in. And by then, all the content had evolved a bit. And then I was watching it 6 hours a day. I was watching all kinds of content just to see what's working, what not. Some of them are incredible, some of them were very insensitive because it made you feel giddy. And so I was studying this for 3-4 months. And again, when I was casually talking to my wife, we had this idea. She's so much into perfumes, and she said, why don't you do a movie on perfumes? And it was her idea. So I put both together and spoke to Grace Boyle, who's doing the sensory perfume for Musk. And she said, I'm working on perfumes and I would love to be involved too. And everything came together. Then I was thinking, where do we keep the story? Very convenient, of course, we can do it in India, we can do it in Tamil Nadu or Bombay. But I felt like this could be an international tale. It's about a family. It's about things which we love, perfumes and music. Music is the foundation of the story. And I was thinking, like, why don't we lead, at least try to lead in this, in storytelling on VR, because there was no money in it, and nobody would come in. So all these things came together, and the script was ready and we were trying to find a place. We thought of Croatia, Bosnia, Paris, London, and finally we felt Rome was the right place because you can keep the camera anywhere and it'll look beautiful. And the story also evolved, like The family comes from Armenia to Rome, and then we're looking at a lead actress, and we sent the script, and she didn't even respond. What is this? And then we went to Nice and met Nora, and played her a couple of clips and the previs of what we did, and the whole family was like kid in the candy store. They was watching it, and then it all happened. What else do you need? Because I'm in music and I've been trying to tell stories in music, I thought it'll be a good step to go forward and make the leap and see what storytelling on VR would be. And so Musk happened.
Well, thank you. Hello. Well, thank you, Mr. Rahman, for your enlightening words and letting us know where your inspiration is coming from. And I'm sure everyone can take this story, to recall again and again later. So now we're going to open the floor for question and answer with our media friends. So if anyone have a question, just raise your hands and we'll come to you.
Yeah. Okay.
So which was the best part for you in this movie, in entire the best?
The whole thing. I think this 30 minutes, 13 days we shot in Rome, and we had 3 units because we didn't want to waste time. So there were 2 VR units. One was a John camera, one was the Reds. Then we had, 4 units. One was a Samsung hacked stereoscopic camera. And then the other one was 2D, just to cover photographs. And there was a still photographer. So I think literally 5. What's that? Bahubali. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Excuse me. Hello. I'd like to request for the follow the mic. Yeah.
Mr. Rahman, there are so many picturesque places in India. Why did you prefer Rome? Why not Kerala? Why not Kashmir? Or why not Himachal?
Yeah, I think we've been fans of Hollywood movies, European movies, Chinese movies. What have we given to them? We have seen all those movies. Our movies are for our culture. So I think it's high time we also reflect our objective, our perspective of human life across the world. And so going to Rome is the best holiday destination. Everybody wants to go there because of the culture, the art and everything. So we picked up that. And there's an Indian making an English film. So we had to make small steps, right? And if you watch the trailer, you would understand what it is.
Hi, I'm Mugdha from CNN News 18. I'd want you to talk about, this was your directorial debut, what was your experience like and what was your approach to the music for the film?
It all started with music. Actually, it has a classical music base. It has Vivaldi, it has Mozart, and I've composed songs in it. And it started with that. And what is your question, sorry? Yeah, the experience, what? So while writing the screenplay, it was like, this looks good on VR. And so we have an orchestra. How many people have been in the orchestra, like amongst the orchestra and watched an orchestra? Like there are different violin players, there's woodwinds players. So if you sit on a chair there and you can watch them, have you watched it? No. So this gives you an opportunity to sit on the midst of the orchestra and look at them, the cello player, the harpsichord player, and then look at the way they are real players, they're real musicians doing this stuff. And Nora went through training, and she learned the flute for 3-4 months, and she wanted to be perfect. And she's a singer too, so she's singing on this. And so before shooting, of course, I wanted to test myself, and so we did a whole previs. We shot the whole thing with actors from Chennai, from my KM Conservatory. We had students all acting the parts. We edited that, we checked out whether it's working, so then went for the real shoot.
Good evening, sir. Sanika this side from ANI. So what were your initial thoughts, basically? What made you turn to filmmaking? And what next, basically, that too?
Filmmaking is a very tough job. It needs like 2 years of your life, and you need to go into all these things, but I was never into it. I didn't want, because I'm I love music. I love doing music. But this one didn't seem like that exhausting because it's a 13-day schedule and I didn't have to spend 2 years of my life. So we had a great team. I had Sri Rag Anand, we had Gurachi who did the screenplay, Karan Grover who helped me put this thing together, the Vivian, and this whole team kind of took all this burden from me and I just had to do the creatives. And that made me jump into that.
So can you choose one thing now? What is more fun to you, filmmaking or music?
Music, of course, because music, unfortunately, nobody started reinventing the application of music in movies. You see the very same things being happening. So that bothered me, and this is one of the reasons why I took. Maybe I could do something, and because I'm in the spot, nobody else to blame. I don't want to blame anybody, but me if something goes wrong. So if you watch this, you'll understand. This is just the prelude. It's just 3.5 minutes. The main movie will be around 55 minutes, I think, 3 episodes.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi. My question is in 2 parts. As a pioneer of this VR form of movies, what do you see the future for VR movies in India and in the global context? What is your personal view?
VR is going to help in a lot of ways. VR and AR, actually. AR is my name, no, so not my name. It's AR, or augmented reality. And then mixed reality. There's MR also. It's going to help in a lot. People who have not traveled can travel. You can be in that place. Almost like 70% it feels like you are in Rome or in a roller coaster or in a train or things which can Mars or moon. It really, really feels like that. And it's in 3D. There are 2 things actually called, there's monoscopic and stereoscopic. This is stereoscopic. And this feels real. Monoscopic just seems like a projection all over the place. And I'm not into monoscopic. And for medical purposes and to bring somebody so close to you. So your emotional response to that is much, much greater than watching something so far from that here. The emotional response is definitely very, very, it's really amazing. And I felt like we should use it very responsibly, very considerate and be sensitive about what we're doing in VR because people will misuse it.
Hi, I'm Shreya from here. Hi, Rahman. This is Shreya from Hindustan Times. I just wanted to know, as you just mentioned, that the experience had been wonderful doing Low Mask. So, do you have any other idea next that you want to explore through VR?
The next one is even more exciting. I won't tell that now. It's based on Indian culture, actually.
Okay.
And the dance forms of India. So I'm exploring that, been researching on it for 3 months, and we've been breaking our heads how to do that. And all the cameras have caught up. The way I want to do it now, the cameras are improving. We have now 6K, stereoscopic, 60 frames, and that'll let us not stitch and could be a more seamless workflow. Yeah.
So, do we only see you exploring the VR, or do we also see you in other screens as well? Maybe some other
No,
movie?
I'm writing and producing the movie 99 Songs,
Huh.
and it's in pre-production, and that's going to come up hopefully this year end or next year. So
I'm talking
it
about
has a
direction.
director,
Huh.
Vishwesh, and we have a great cast.
So, you don't plan to direct for the single
You
other...
want me to stop doing music? Or what?
No. We will not survive without your music. So,
Sweet,
yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. I have a question for Gautam also. So with this kind of a collaboration, what's next for you?
Next is in 2 phases. One is, as Sir said, VR is going to evolve. The more we are studying, the more we are kind of doing research around VR, we realize that these are just baby steps into this technology. There's just so much happening. In fact, I was just talking to him and he spoke about some specialized chairs which can possibly enhance the viewing experience.
I want to add to that. So what you want to watch is without 50% of what it is really. So we have these amazing chairs called positron, which is in sync with the story. So if you're traveling on a road, it actually does everything, all the movements, so you don't feel dizzy. And then we have Scent, which is not here again. We had a great demo at NAB Vegas last week, and we had people standing in the queue for like 1 hour because there were only 3 chairs. unfortunately. We hope we will have like 20 chairs, a positron.
Easy. Because, as he rightly said, there's so much more that we have to sort of get right in terms of technology, because technology is ever evolving. What seems right today is going to sort of evolve into something else. So at one end, we need to sort of keep step with that. And on the other, we are planning to sort of take this concept to at least about 7 or 8 more cinemas, which means that we'll be adding another 25 to 30 odd seats pan-India. So that's really how we are looking at it. We are very certain that this would open the floodgates, and many more guys would be looking at now producing content on VR, which would be wonderful for our audiences. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lovely and I'm from Times Group. I just want to ask that now that you have tried your hands at filmmaking, can we expect you to do something in different genres as well?
Different genres of in VR?
No, apart from VR, something else. Are you planning to make a film, some other genre like romance or comedy or anything else? Can we expect that?
No, actually, I think like what I'm doing with this VR, it's very impressionistic and surreal, which I like better. I think they're amazing storytellers already in India, and I'll give it to them. So I want to the things which could be testing your patience on the big screen in VR might be even more fascinating because you're seeing a kind of soul in it in front of you.
Gautam sir? This is for you.
Yeah, sorry.
Hello, Gautam sir. This is Samarpita from Indian Express.
Yeah.
So how does it feel like to collaborate with one of the music master of India?
Very nice. But honestly, as I said, it's not just him and his film. This one, I'll have to really grant him the 100% of what we are today to him, because he was the one who took all that effort to come down and meet us and kind of introduce us to this concept. Like all of you, we just love him. We have a lot of respect for what he's done. And to collaborate.
At that time, I didn't have a clue what I was doing.
Yeah.
I just took a computer and said, this is VR.
Yeah.
Watch it.
And we completely agreed with him, and we said, if this is VR, we need to do something. So I think it's been a great association. I'm sure when he would have finished his film and got to know that PVR has already put in about a 4-seater lounge, it would have made him happy, because I'm certain, because when two giants work together, the magic is bound to be created. And we are so happy today that we are able to sort of premiere his film here in Prelude, sorry, yeah, and we'll follow it with the film as well. So it's just so wonderful. So that's what my feelings are.
And Rahman sir, this is for you. You have worked with various international projects as well as Indian projects. How's the work culture different from there to here?
Everything is changing. Everything is changing. I feel like there are only two kinds of people. People with passion, people who just do it like work. And I love the people with passion, whether it's there or here.
Rahman sir, I am Rahul Jain from Namokar channel. What do you think, how many difference normal cinema making and VR cinema?
In VR cinema, unfortunately, only four people can watch at the same time. Here, we're going to watch all together. There's a kind of community kind of a thing, and you can have popcorn without knowing that this is your mouth. It won't hit here. But in this, you have to put... I think those... No, but I think everything's being reinvented. Like, I'm thinking of having a kind of installation where it's not just like going further, like what PVR has done. I think, of course, we can collaborate on that. To do it like an installation where you go in and it's not just these ugly-looking HMDs, but there's an experience, and then this last would be putting the HMDs on. And even that is evolving. Now it's 1.5K now. If it becomes 6K or 7K, it'll be as good as real.
But sir, how many face you problem during make this movie? Because virtual reality technology is our field.
We're still facing a lot of things, but our boys are adamant. They won't let anything bad pass through. They go again and again. For one shot, they've gone some 10 revisions, 11 revisions, back and forth. And mostly it's made in India, this whole thing, except the shooting. All the post-production was done in India. And we're still doing. There are 24 cameras being stitched. And when they stitch it, sometimes you have one person looking awkward, so we had to go correct it. And the convergence and the stereoscopic. Nightmare, but it's worth it.
So now we'll go for a last question.
So hi sir, this is Atif. You were telling that you want to give something from India to the world. So what were those elements which you have learned so far in the industry and that you have used in your this project?
We all have their goodness everywhere in the world, and we have our own perspective of it. We have our own. We brought up in certain ways. Our values are different, and I feel like with these values, which are common with the characters, it could make a lot of difference. It could because what we see as beauty is different from what they see in the West, and what we're learning from them. And I think we now are in the space and time to give back in a good way.
And talking about music, so you come from a big background from the southern classical music. So how did you included that portion of?
No, it is true to the story. The story, the characters from Armenia, Bosnia, then Rome. So we have a certain ethnicity of Armenian kind of music, and a lot of Western classical, Vivaldi, and as I told you. So being true to that thing, not right, oh, let me put an Indian thing here. No, I'm not. It's not like that.
Well, thank you so much. That was indeed a great question answers round. And thank you once again for your humble presence. And you have a wonderful evening ahead. For now, we'll coordinate for a mass bite with Mr. AR Rahman, followed by electronic media and print media later. Thank you so